Good afternoon. Today we are going to do something called arts and crafts. Actually, I have been so busy with trying to get out of here and packing and cleaning and organizing and everything else that I have totally forgotten that I need to get myself prepared as well, not just, throwing stuff away. My gosh, I've been throwing stuff away. It is amazing what you can accumulate in your house and in your family and all that good stuff for like 30 plus years. Yeah, actually about 35. I tend to keep everything. It's not that I'm a hoarder. It's just that I run a couple of businesses, so I need to keep paperwork and documentation and blah, blah, blah. And I went through and shredded. My gosh, I've shredded. I've got like 32 bags of shredded garbage that's been going out. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we are going to talk about this. And, well, this is going well. Anyway, that. Oh. Okay, anyway, we're going to have fun. Me with arts and crafts and a scissors, a sharp object. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, from my days of sewing, I remember that when you slice a pattern for this side, you have to flip it over backwards and do it for that side. Or no, you don't. Yes, well, in a pattern you do. This should be interesting. Let's see if it works. Okay then. How bad can I possibly screw this up? Actually, in sewing you have to do this, but for the fact that this is not the right side and the wrong side of the material, then I don't have to do that. So that's one last thing that I don't have to remember to do. Or I should say one last thing that I don't have to possibly screw up. There's just stuck tape all over everything. We will. Okay, let's see if we can do this. How I'm planning on it is to this is going to be just peachy fun. I was going to cut, okay, so that is, everything should be like an inch off. Nope, it's going to be a mess. Okay, so I'm going to cut out. This is going to work. It really is. Stop laughing. I know I make good comedic material. Okay, so that to I'm one of those that might not stop for directions. I'm one of those that kind of don't use a recipe to cook things. I'm one of those kind of people where it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Here we go. All right, I've got this cut to the length of the window, and I can get it in there, but what I'm trying to do, yes, I know it would be helpful to measure this out. The only problem is everything I own is packed away. I couldn't tell you what box it's in. So, and what I'm trying to do is make it long enough that it, like I can pop it in. I don't need magnets or tape or anything. I hear the first one is always hard. Oops. I also can hear you laughing back there. Stop that. Well, I look at it this way. If I fail miserably in what I want to do, I can always set myself up somewhere else. Not that I want to do that. I mean, eventually I'll do that. But, you know, I gotta go out and live. You know, you can't spend every waking moment behind your desk clacking away on a keyboard, watching countless YouTube videos, going, gosh, I wish I could do that. You know, you gotta just get out there and do it, because some of us that have restless spirits, that would be me, a restless spirit, you just have to go out there and take life by the horns and say, look, I need to do this. I'm going to do this, and it's going to be great. My daily mentoring. Okay, that's going well. Not really. There we go. There we go. Ah! Come together, sort of. Because, you know, every day I sit there and I wonder what's wrong with me. I mean, I literally ask myself out loud, what is wrong with you, Kiersten? The stuff I do. I mean, I really have to wonder. Yeah. Okay, so this can come up a little. God bless. There is just something wrong with me. Alright, let's go inside and cut out another one of these. Okay. I need to tape this down. And then what to do with this. Makes the world go round. Okay, I actually found this. I've been using strapping tape on everything, and I saw this, and I'm like, ooh! I should tell you about my duct taping story. Not taping, duct tape. I was living in central Illinois, and the kids and I went shopping, grocery shopping, and we were leaving the town that the Walmart or whatever was in, and I was in you know, one of those big intersection, you know, merge lanes kind of thing, merging into another direction, and I saw a brand new roll, I mean brand spanking wrapped roll of duct tape sitting in like the gutter of where I'm driving by. And I saw it, and I had someone behind me, and I didn't have time to slam on the brakes, you know, or whatever. And I said to my kids, oh my gosh, there's a new thing of duct tape sitting there. And my kids are like, yeah, we saw it too. And so I drove around the block and purposely drove slowly and had my child, who was still belted in, by the way, she was 14 or 15 years old, still belted in, but I drove slow enough that she opened the door and reached down on the ground and picked up the duct tape and kept going. Because duct tape, it makes the world go around and fixes things, and it makes just a happy person. It doesn't apparently take a lot to make me happy. I'll be happy if I can get out of here on time, if these will, if this will work, I'll even be happier. And, okay, here we go. I always think it'd be fun to go to like Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby or something and get stuff that I could do arts and crafts with. Sometimes I do, and I spend lots and lots of money, and then I get home, and then I go back to work. Just going to all those places and buying stuff, I have to remember, is not the complete craft. You have to come home and, you know, actually utilize the material, the hundreds of dollars of materials that you have just purchased. But in the buying sense, I've done great because I'm a painter and I do ceramics and wrapped beaded wire work. Oh, I do all sorts of things. AKA, I'm really good at, not apparently, okay, here we go. I'm really good at buying that stuff. Not really good about coming home and actually putting it to use. Maybe in my quest to do something in life other than sit behind my computer and work, maybe I will, I don't know. Okay, stop laughing. I hear you laughing. Maybe I will be able to do arts and crafts. Well, you know, I've kept all that stuff. And I'm not going to go spend hundreds of dollars worth of craft supplies and not do anything with it. It just apparently is on a delayed schedule. You know, you buy it and then 9 years later, you actually do the craft. I got it all figured out. Oh, I tell you though, a couple things I'm going to do while I sit in the desert and watch lizards jump on and off rocks. I'm going to read, and I still have to work. You know, there's no getting around that. I have to work. Fortunately, for the most part, my work is pretty enjoyable, thankfully. Probably why I do it so much. But, I'm going to read, and I was thinking it'd be fun to learn a new language. I kind of know French. I can swear in French, so that's good. So, you know, I know French. No, I'm kidding. Spanish would be the most obvious one. I should do Spanish. I did 4 years of high school French. One of those things, if you're not immersed, if you don't practice, you're not going to remember it. Well, at least I didn't. I remember some stuff. I can get through a little conversation about how you're doing, and then it goes, my mind goes blank. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. I'm going to go see if it works. Alright, so I went out to the car, and I fit it in the window, and it works, but it's like kind of loose. So I'm going to roll it back just a little, along with being the person that isn't good at asking for directions. I'm also a person who can see something that's just not right. I mean, it's right, and it would work. Leave it up to me to find the one thing that just won't be right about it. And I don't do that, well, I do that with other people's work, but unless they're open to it, or I think they're open to receiving feedback, then I'll keep it to myself, because I can be annoying. My God, I annoy myself. I'm really good at annoying myself. I am the most competitive with myself. Alright. Let's see what I'm doing here. Okay. What I'm doing is making a mess. See, aren't we having fun with arts and crafts time? I'm not sure if this is more fun than packing cleaning. It's become now it's a teetering on the possibility of this becoming a chore. If I think this is a chore, you can only imagine what I'm going to think about doing a build out on a shuttle bus or at school. Oh my gosh. Going back to my original question of Kiersten, what is wrong with you? Okay, so I'm making this a little snugger. It's not that, I couldn't live without, it not being snug. It's just that I know it wouldn't be exactly how it's supposed to be. And that would bother me every time I took this out, which is pretty much every day. I was watching the weather. Really watching the weather these days because I am still stuck in Minnesota for 3 weeks after I move out. So I'm wondering how cold it's going to be and how much I'm going to freeze my butt off. And again, I have a sleeping bag. Oh, that reminds me, my sleeping bag. I washed the thing. I followed the instructions. And now the zipper doesn't work. The zipper won't, block. I can zip it, but then it splits right after this. And I don't want to have to put more money into a sleeping bag. I mean, I could, but I'm hoping that I don't have to because I have plenty of other things that I have to buy. And having 2 sleeping bags, one with a zipper that works and one with a broken zipper is not a game plan. Oh my gosh. Stuck to things. I'm questioning my sanity for even doing this. But the fact that I'm cleaning and getting rid of so much stuff. You're supposed to keep 7 years of documentation and receipts and all that, I don't think the IRS understands what clutter that can actually come out to being. And yes, I know everything is computerized these days, but I'm still old school, so as well as computers, I also keep the hard copy. Because the aliens could land and then shut down our power grid, and that would be the day that I would receive documentation, a letter from the IRS saying, okay, we need to see everything you've been doing for the last 7 years, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, we can't get that to you because the aliens showed up and shut down our entire power grid, and everything I have is on the cloud, and they'd be like, oh, well, we're going to hit you with this fine and that fine over here, and by the way, you're going to pay for our lunch and everything else. So now you know why I keep hard copies, so I don't have to pay that by the IRS lunch. It all makes perfectly good sense to me. Oh, hey. Because I give myself lofty goals, I only need, hold on, this is a math thing. I need like 954 more subscribers on my channel, and then they could be entertained by such quality programming. What's this? Kiersten experiencing her midlife crisis and moving into her car, which again, like I said, is a temporary thing. Really, it is. I will move into something. The thing is, okay, there's a couple things to it all. One, there's no way on God's green earth, aside from, am I going to spend an arm and a leg and a second mortgage and a first kid and a heart and a pair of lungs and everything else on some type of vehicle to build out? It's not going to happen. I mean, those $100,000 Sprinter vans look fun and fabulous, but I'm not laying down $100,000 to get into something. And in reality, like I said in a previous video, I've been sleeping in my car for about the last 20 years, whenever I go anywhere. So, sleeping in my car is no big deal. So, if you have any friends or family or mortal enemies that you think that should know about my channel, I give myself these lofty goals, and ideally, I would like to be able to get to 1,000 by the end of 23. I don't know if that's going to necessarily work. I know 1,000 people. I know actually more than 1,000 people. But, I can see why people have craft tables. Wouldn't that make sense? Have a craft table, and then you wouldn't have to monkey with this. Okay, that is not going to work, because I take that to... Oh. Alright, one thing I'm enjoying about this Reflectix is it bends. You can put, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got I can fit it into the window and then have a pattern to work on. I'm cutting everything about 3/4 of an inch bigger and then folding that in, duct taping it, and then it's like a pressure fit. Well, it is pressure fit. Well, ideally, we'll see how it how it goes in the field, basically. Out in the open of the real world and not in the front hallway. I don't think I like this arts and crafts project at all. Whose stupid idea was this? Never mind, don't answer that.